wrestling fans, thanks for clicking today to Reddit D Rose Report. And Max. He thinks I'm talking to him. Alright, hey, got a couple of days worth of news to catch up with you on. Wrestling Observer newsletter recently reported that Bray Wyatt and John Cena was the current plans for the main event at WrestleMania XXX. I guess that's not the case. We're going around that WWE, and hang on, he's getting all excited here. Oh, there. Drop this chew. Anyway, we're going around WWE. Sorry about that. WWE is John Cena and Wyatt was not something discussed recently, but the idea of doing a match came up over a month ago, and the idea that Wyatt could win the Royal Rumble and the challenge for Cena at the WrestleMania XXX. However, the storyline was mapped out before they made a decision to unify the title at TLC, before they made Randy Orton, of course, the champion, and it was before the announcement of Batista's return. So I think they want to get them two going at it. Be a bigger main event. Sorry, Bray, it is. And there's now a feeling in WWE that Batista will win the Royal Rumble, challenge whoever has the title for WrestleMania 30. And this doesn't mean that we won't see a Wyatt and Cena down the line, but most likely not at WrestleMania. And WWE has plans for Cena, other plans for Cena at the big event, which I'll get to later. Hang on, just hold on a second. As Michael Cole and JBL, they've been doing some weight loss challenges, I guess, this year. The challenge runs for 250 days, and their first weigh-in is, yesterday, I think. The first day of the year. And JBL noted that he's at 278 pounds today and plans to be under 225 by the end of the 250 days. Once 250 days are up, they plan to climb a mountain together. I say go at it, leave me home. I can care less about a mountain. Alright, stock closed $16.59 on Monday, over double what it was a year before, which was, more than double, $7.67. I could have bought a bunch of stock at $7 and, close to $7 or so, but I think I might hold off now. Probably might go down, afraid now. Well, WB, I don't know if you noticed on Raw this Monday, but WWE, Oksana got the pin on Monday's Raw to build a singles match between Nikki Bella at SmackDown. Beside a dark match over Cameron and an NXT win over Emma, Oksana's had no television wins in 2013 beside this past Monday. And WWE Shop website now got a new Brock Lesnar t-shirt. I am a Paul Heyman guy. And a Paul Heyman, two shirts, I guess. I was wondering if it was awful high, $41.99. So I guess a Paul Heyman guy, and then the new shirt, which it might have I haven't seen the picture of it. It might have the saying on it that they come up with Monday. Did you love Brock Lesnar's scream? Wasn't his scream fantastic after he threw Mark Henry around? Wasn't it? Sound like you, Mac. Alright, there, settle down. I'll be done here in a minute. WWE website's got has published a playlist of the 10 most underrated matches of 2013, which I don't want to mention here because they were underrated. Anyway, Summer Rae and Rosa Mendez dressed similarly in attire on Monday's Raw. It was a rib for Michael Cole for getting the two mixed up on the previous week when Rosa was at home. Oh, well, it's family. Jim Ross has updated his Q&A section on his barbecue website and has asked why his good friend Steve Austin doesn't make an appearance for WWE or return for one night only, and Ross replied, one has to be booked and have something specific, planned to do. A talent just doesn't show up going to business for himself, and if WWE wants Austin to return, they have to work out something that both parties like. Is that it's simple. Jericho's Talk is Jericho podcast is #1 in the U.S. iTunes top 10 sports and recreation list. It's #2 on the UK listing and #1 in Australia and Canada. Jericho's latest episode with music historian Eddie Trunk is now online. Batista's looking forward to 2014 being the best year of his life until 2015 at least. He tweeted this afternoon. It says, I predicted 2014 would be the best year of my life until 2015, and that'll become the best year of my life. Happy New Year, Twitches. Speaking of Batista, Disney released a new graphic for Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy movie, which features Batista as Drax, the Destroyer. I've got a picture of that on my website, or on my Facebook page if you want to check it out. Unless you want to go looking for it. Good. Regarding speculation around Steve Austin making an appearance at WrestleMania XXX, word is that if he does appear, it won't be as an active wrestler. Austin talked privately about working with CM Punk in the past, but Punk is currently scheduled to face Triple H at WrestleMania 30. Word is WE and Austin's not been receptive to the idea of working a match this year, I guess. Which even at his age may completely close the window on Austin ever wrestling again. They keep waiting a year and a year and a year. Same way with Ultimate Warrior. They need to get that done. Jim Ross updated his, again, barbecue website. It said that it's unlikely he's going to be at the Old School Raw next week. Ross also asked his thoughts on Oksana and Rosa Mendez. He says, love the ladies who just simply blend into the fabric of the Diva division, perhaps provide a new role or if they want to cast, be differently, they could do either one. Another legend scheduled for Monday's Old School Raw. Here's a list so far. Dusty Rhodes, which we kind of knew he would probably be there. He works there. And I would think Arn Anderson probably would be too. Anyway, also Ric Flair, they already mentioned him a little bit. Diamond Dallas Page, Bob Backlund, Erwin R. Shyster, RIRS, Ted DiBiase Sr., Gene Okerlund, Booker T, Roddy Piper, Rikishi, Scotty 2 Hottie, New Age Outlaws are also being advertised. The Rock noted on Rock Talk Twitter Q&A yesterday that he's currently working on his second memoir. Rock's last book came out in 2000 and debuted at #1 on New York Times bestseller list, which I don't know why, but all of them do. They always debut at the top, but they're not out yet, but they're already #1. Anyway, regarding John Cena's plan for WrestleMania 30, most recent talk with him is having him either teaming or aligning with Hulk Hogan in some way. This indicates WWE is close to signing Hogan to a deal. Several ideas of Hogan's been discussed among the WWE creative, including having Cena and Hogan in his corner for a singles match, or let's say having Cena and Hogan versus the Real Americans, Jack Swagger. Because Hogan is a real American. Anyway, WWE officials discussing bringing in Roddy Piper in for WrestleMania 30, and the idea of discussing having Piper include Cena and Hogan versus Piper and another heel. Hogan and Piper versus Swagger and Cesaro, or Hogan versus Piper in a Legends match. We'll see what goes on. A lot of different scenarios on all that stuff. Told you last time I was on here about Mae Young. She's been hospitalized about a week ago now, and she's back at home and is able to speak, but she's still under hospice care. After having some conflicting reports on Batista's WWE return deal, with some reports saying that he's only returning for WrestleMania 30 and other reports saying he's going to be hanging around to SummerSlam, Batista's deal will see him return for 2 years or longer. It's been considered as the last run for the animal. Until the next one, if he stays in shape, healthy. Lita and Trish Stratus going to be doing a Q&A through Trish's website soon. You got to submit your question ahead of time on our site. And old Brodus Clay, he debuted as a main event player and took a main event, play a look and theme song on this week's main event in a Miz TV segment. So he kind of got away from the dinosaur. Now he's back to the... Didn't he do that in the beginning? He was a player. thinking he came out with a brim hat on. He kind of looked corporate to me with the picture I seen. Yeah, I'll be done here in a minute. TBO.com has a new article about wrestling legends and their sons and daughters, mainly Ric Flair and his daughter, and Dusty Rhodes and his son. Flair talked about visiting his daughter down in Tampa and being there to support her career. Flair believes that she's going to have a lot of added pressure on her in the business because it's Flair's daughter. Flair said that she's strong mentally, can handle anything, and she's going to be fine. She's a winner. All right, let's change the channel a second. TNA website's got a poll up asking newcomer, what newcomer will have the most success in 2014? Ethan Carter, Samuel Shaw, Nora Furman, or Dewey Barnes. Carter right now is in the lead of about 50%. And tonight's episode of Impact is going to be featuring the coronation, and I can't wait, of Magnus as the heavyweight champion. And Aries and Chris Sabin are taking on each other for the X Division title, and of course an announcement from Kurt Angle and more. James Storm is going to be a special guest on TNA's Impact's second screen experience tonight. Dixie Carter says 2014 will be filled with new ideas and characters. She tweeted the following: 2014 is going to be filled with the new year, with new ideas, new characters, new energy, exciting to share share it with the greatest fans in the world. You know, why'd you wait all this time? Why didn't you do it last year? The updated lineup for WWE's return to Madison Square Garden March 8th is John Cena taking on Randy Orton for the WWE World Heavyweight title, plus special appearance by Bryan, the Wyatt's family, and Batista goes on sale January 4th, 10 a.m. And Tommy Dreamer is challenging any WWE superstar on the Old School Raw to a top match that he and Bully Ray had at Monday night's TNA one night only Old School pay-per-view taping. And of course we won't see that match for months. He said, I just went to Old School with Impact Wrestling last week. WWE, I challenge any new school to the top that match with me and Bully Ray. A fan on Twitter wrote that CM Punk told him this week that the Raw match against Seth Rollins was good, but the fan enjoyed it. Punk replied, he said the match was garbage. He also is sick of traveling. That I believe. I don't know about it being too much garbage, but there was some mix-ups in there, but can't put the whole match in jeopardy just because there was a screw-up. Really wasn't. I don't think it was by Punk, though, but if you look back at it, you'll see. Hey, today would have been the birthday of two-time World Heavyweight Champion, the Golden Greek Jimmy Londos. He would have been 117 years old. Thanks for clicking, you guys. We gotta go.